Hello everyone, Kasim Khan is here. Please subscribe my channel and press bell button for more updates. So guys, today we are going to learn a very important concept of finance, that is interest rate. So this chapter is also you can read from the Gitman and Brigham book, and this is the chapter number 6 in that books. For detailed discussion and reading you can read this chapter. So first we will define what is interest rate. So what are the topics we will cover in today's lecture? That is, in part one, we will cover cost of money, and I will discuss in very detail how we can calculate the cost of money and what is the role in financing. So, in part two, we will discuss about factor affecting cost of money. There are so many factors who are affecting on your borrowing cost, on your financing cost. So first, we will discuss what are the fundamental factors which are affecting your cost of money. In second phase, we will discuss about the macroeconomic factors. What are the macroeconomic factors which are affecting your cost of money? And in third part, we will discuss about the interest rate level and how we can find a different interest level when we are like finding the cost of money. So in part three, we will determine the determinants of market interest rate. What are the determinants of which on the basis of which we define the interest rates? And in part 4 of the video we will discuss what are the risks associated with overseas securities investment. So this is our lecture plan for today video. So first we will discuss about the cost of money in part 1, and this is the very important concept of the interest rate which define what is interest rate. So what is cost of money? Cost of money is the rental price of borrowing money. Nothing is free in this world. You need to pay something when you borrow the money, and the amount which you pay on the borrowing fund, that is called basically cost of money, and in financial terms it is known as the interest rate. So suppose I give you explanation with the little concept, that is, suppose you go to a bank to borrow $10,000 for paying off college fees. You would not be able to get this money for free. Obviously, you will need to pay something on it. So the money is very expensive kind of thing and commodity in the market, and you must need to bear the cost if you borrow money from someone. So the $10,000 come with the price tag attached, i.e., some rate of interest. Consider, for example, a 10% rate of interest. So that 10% is your cost of money. That is the extra amount which you will pay of when you will return the principal amount. So this 10% interest rate is the cost of obtaining $10,000. This cost is also known as the cost of money. So in a free market, how we determine this cost of money, how we determine the interest level, how we can define the interest level. So we believe on free economy where the commodities prices change on the basis of demand and supply. So how we determine the interest rate in free economy? In free economy, excess funds of lender are allocated to borrower through a pricing system based on the supply of and demand for funds. So this is demand and supply is known as the free economy system. So this pricing system is represented by the interest rate, I, or the cost of money. So there are only two sector exist in the society. One is the sector who have a surplus of money, जिसके पास ज़्यादा पैसा होता है, that is known as the lender. And the other side is the borrower who have a shortage of funds, जिनके पास ideas होते हैं, वो आपके पास लेकिन उनके पास funds की shortage होती है, तो so they borrow the money from lender. तो this sector is called known as the borrower. इसमें आपको individual हो सकता है, businessman हो सकता है, आपकी कोई भी हो सकता है. तो how we define the इंटरेस्ट रेट? तो आपका जो सप्लाई कर्व होता है ये अपवर्ड स्लोप होता है, जो आपका डिमांड कर्व होता है ये हमेशा डाउनवर्ड स्लोप होता है. तो जहाँ पे ये आपके कर्व इंटरसेक्ट करते हैं, कनेक्ट करते हैं, तो उसको हम इंटरेस्ट लेवल कहते हैं. दैट इज बेसिकली इक्विलिब्रियम पॉइंट, एंड दैट इज द इंटरेस्ट रेट लेवल. तो जैसे आपकी डिमांड सप्लाई इनमें से कोई भी चेंज होगा तो ये आपका इंटरेस्ट का लेवल चेंज हो जाएगा. तो हाउ दिस इंटरेस्ट लेवल चेंज ओवर द टाइम पीरियड, और ये कैसे वर्कआउट करता है हम नेक्स्ट स्लाइड में देखते हैं. सो So now we know how the interest, how we determine the interest rate, how this level has been changed over the time period, how demand and supply of the funds affect. One thing you need to remember, that is, whenever the supply of the fund will increase, this curve will move downward, and when the demand of the funds will increase, the demand curve will move upward. So supply curve always move downward and the demand curve always move upward. So when there will be high demand, this कर्व will move upward. जब भी ज़्यादा डिमांड होगी तो ये जो कर्व है ये किधर मूव करेगा, अपवर्ड मूव करेगा। जब ये अपवर्ड मूव करेगा, लेट्स सपोज यहाँ पे आ जाता है, तो फिर आपका क्या होगा, इंटरेस्ट रेट इंक्रीज कर जाएगा। इसी तरह अगर आपकी सप्लाई ऑफ फंड्स होगी, अगर वो डिक्रीज करती है तो ये किधर मूव करेगा, बैकवर्ड मूव करेगा। जब बैकवर्ड मूव करेगा तो फिर भी आपका इंटरेस्ट रेट इंक्रीज कर जाएगा। अब हम डिक्रीज के सिनेरियो को डिस्कस करते हैं। तो जब आपकी सप्लाई ऑफ फंड्स इंक्रीज कर जाएगा, कि बहुत सारे लोग हैं जो सप्लाई ऑफ फंड्स प्रोवाइड करना चाहते हैं, द मनी सप्लाई इज इंक्रीज इन द मार्केट, तो ये जो आपका कर्व है, ये वाला सप्लाई कर्व, ये जो है डाउनवर्ड मूव करेगा। जब ये इस डायरेक्शन में मूव करेगा तो आपका इंटरेस्ट रेट क्या कर जाएगा, डिक्रीज कर जाएगा। इसी तरह अगर आपकी डिमांड ऑफ फंड्स क्या करती है, डिक्रीज करती है, तो डिमांड ऑफ फंड्स क्या है, ये वाला आपका कर्व है, तो ये क्या कर जाएगा, डाउनवर्ड मूव कर जाएगा। जब ये डाउनवर्ड मूव करेगा तो आपकी फिर भी इंटरेस्ट रेट कम हो जाएगा। सो this way, the directions of the curve change with the over the time period with the change in the supply and demand. So अगर ये कर्व अपवर्ड मूव करेंगे तो आपकी क्या होगी, इंटरेस्ट रेट इंक्रीज कर जाएगा। अगर ये इक्विलिब्रियम पॉइंट डाउन साइड पे इंक्रीज डाउन साइड पे शिफ्ट होगा, फिर आपका इंटरेस्ट रेट क्या करेगा, डिक्रीज कर जाएगा। So generally interest rates are believed to be the cost of money. So here is in the cost of equity, there are the two sources of finance for the firms. One is the debt finance, the other one is the equity finance. जो हम बैंक्स वगैरह फाइनेंशियल इंस्टीट्यूशन से या किसी भी ऐसी इंटरमीडिएट से पैसा लेते हैं जिसमें आपको इंटरेस्ट पे करना पड़ेगा, सिर्फ कास्ट ऑफ मनी पे करनी पड़ेगी, दैट इज कॉल्ड डेट मार्केट। दूसरी साइड आपकी क्या होती है, इक्विटी मार्केट होती है, जो हम स्टॉक एक्सचेंजेस से या शेयर्स के थ्रू जो डाटा जो हम फंड्स रेज करते हैं, उसको हम इक्विटी कहते हैं। तो ऑब्वियसली एवरी शेयर होल्डर, एवरी इन्वेस्टर, व्हेन दे इन्वेस्ट द मनी इन द कंपनी, दे हैव सम काइंड ऑफ एक्सपेक्टेशन, और उनकी एक्सपेक्टेशंस क्या होती हैं। फर्स्ट इज डिविडेंड, आफ्टर हाउ मच टाइम द कंपनी इशूड द डिविडेंड, व्हाट आर द स्ट्रीम्स एंड द डिविडेंड पॉलिसी ऑफ द कंपनी, एंड सेकंड इज द कैपिटल गेन्स। व्हाट इज कैपिटल गेन? Capital gains is how over the time period, what are the investment trends of the company over the time period, how much the company grow and expand, and how much like company starts the new projects. If the company is very good and in growing stage, the company capital gains will increase over the time period. So cost of money is called cost of equity, and it consists of dividend and capital gains expected by the shareholder. So cost of equity is determined with the dividend plus capital gain. So you also need to pay the cost in this. You need to meet the expectations of the shareholder. You need to like fulfill the expectations of the shareholder. So cost of money. There are two parties involved in the transaction. One is the lender, the other one is the borrower. So cost from fund user is perspective, so it will be the cost if for the borrower, but it will be the return for the lender. So cost of money, we can use this word for both parties, but this cost of money is the return for the lender, but and the above one is the cost of money for the borrower. So here is showing about the market. There are the two types of market. One is debt capital market, but the other one is the equity market. The financial institutions, banks, insurance companies, which provide you money on the interest basis, that is called debt market. और debt market में क्या होता है कि कास्ट ऑफ मनी एक के लिए क्या होती है, रिटर्न होती है, जो बारवर होती है उसके लिए क्या होती है, कास्ट होती है। जो जो बारो करता है उसके लिए कास्ट है, जो जिसने लैंड करनी उसके लिए क्या, रिटर्न है। दूसरी साइड आपकी इक्विटी कैपिटल है। इक्विटी कैपिटल स्टॉक होल्डर्स होते हैं हु प्रोवाइड द मनी टू द कंपनी ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ डिविडेंड एंड प्लस कैपिटल गेन्स। So it is the return for the investor, for the money provider, and it is the cost for the corporation who is taking the money from the investor. So here is the quick flashback. I is the cost of obtaining money. I is the cost of money which you borrow from either debt market and the capital market. So supply and demand of funds determine the interest rate. So on the basis on the interaction of the supply and demand curve, you determine what should be the interest rate in the market. And interest rates are different from in any country. In some countries interest rates fall around about 5%, in some countries 7%, in some countries 11, and in developing countries like Pakistan this interest rate fall around about at 17%. So it totally depends upon the many factors like investment opportunities and availability of funds and your development of your financial structure. So many things are affecting your supply and demands of the funds. So on the basis of this, you determine your interest rate. So thank you so much for watching this video. It was all about the cost of money. In next part, we will learn about the factory factoring on the money. So take care. Bye bye.